Well, welcome to everybody. We're going to go ahead and get started. We think a few more people are likely to join, but that's fine. Thank you to those of you that are here and here on time, and away we go. So let's start by taking a look at our agenda. This is an orientation meeting, and so what we're trying to do is help explain what the heck is this Summit Journey Coaching thing, because what we've found is when we try to say it in a sentence or two, it's pretty difficult to explain it. So thanks for giving us a few minutes, and really what we're looking at and going to be looking at in the next 20 minutes or so is kind of a culmination of about 75 years of experience brought by Roy Geer and myself, and organized and put together via the internet. And really, in addition to Roy's experience and my experience, we have 15 coaches on board with us. And so probably 200 or 300 years of additional experience that goes into building all of this. And when you have a business, and this is a business, Summit Journey Coaching is a brand new startup business, that business, to be successful, better be solving some problems out there. And so we ask ourselves, what are the problems that we're trying to solve for the world? Hopefully for maybe a few of you on board here today, but for everybody out there. And in fact, another way of asking it from your point of view, why bother? Why bother changing your habits, spending any time at our website, consider hiring a coach? Why would anyone bother? Well, we think there are many reasons, but a few of the big reasons are that many of us are just kind of stuck. We get stuck at different points in our lives. And often having some coaching and some new ideas and some processes, some personal growth focus might help us get unstuck. So first, we think that the problem of humanity, that many, many human beings just kind of get stuck, and we think we can help with that. Secondly, many people struggle with goal achievement. You know, we get on December 31st and we have the best of intentions for New Year's resolutions, and then they kind of float away throughout the year. Or we have a goal but we don't really get too focused on it, or even worse, we don't write it down. And that goal could be many things. It might be a money goal, accumulation or paying off debt. It could be a health or fitness goal, or an accomplishment for those of you that are athletes. Or it could be a goal to improve in a relationship with a spouse or a loved one, or it could be with a child or a friend. And so what we've done is we've created many different tools and many different processes within Summit Journey Coaching to address these problems that many of us are trying to address. And again, in a couple minutes, I'm going to come in and click on some of these for you, so you can get a sense about what those processes are and what those tools are. Another common problem that our business is trying to solve is many of us need more direction in our lives. I know I have several coaches. My coach Roy helps me stay on focus, stay on direction. I have a health and fitness coach that helps me stay fit when a lot of things conspire against it. So sometimes it's just a matter of direction, having more clarity, a little more sense of what direction is correct for our careers or for our finances, etc. And finally, for those of us that are working, many times we just are looking for new tools, new ideas that we can bring to the table to make us more valuable as employees or managers or entrepreneurs. And so again, the site is full of tools. There are all kinds of things that we can do here on the site that will provide you with ideas and with tools and with direction, etc. So a little bit more on the agenda, and then I'm going to go into the website a little bit more. By the way, I think this will probably take about 20 minutes of ed, and then whatever questions come up. And my son Steve, who's my partner, is sitting next to me here and reading any of the questions that might come in. So feel free anywhere along the way to send in a question, and Steve will read the question and we'll address it. So just a little bit more agenda, and then I'm going to take you into the website. Well, what is Summit Journey Coaching? Well, first of all, it's kind of a philosophy, and our philosophy is that for thousands of years, people have left clues behind as to how to live successful lives. It's nothing special that I have found or even that Roy has found. We might have found some good ways to say these things, but the clues have been around forever. You can go to the library or go to Amazon and read thousands of books about leading more successful lives, and you can read poetry and literature, and much of it is about how to lead a happier, more successful life. Well, what we're trying to do is pick up a few of these clues and bring them to you in a way that's simple and clear and actionable. So again, the site is designed to provide lessons and books and all kinds of coaching tools and services and exercises. And again, in a moment, I'll come in and I'll click on a few of these. And they're all really about success clues. Another thing that Summit Journey is about philosophically, Steve and I said to ourselves, and Alexis is here as well in the other room listening in, as we built this business and built the website, we said to ourselves, you can go to the internet to do almost anything. You can shop, and you can research, and you can play, and you can download, and you can socialize. But where do you go on the internet to work on your personal growth? Where do you go for things that are really important in your life? Well, we want to suggest, and we know it's a little bit of a bold suggestion, we want to suggest Summit Journey Coaching is where you go. This is the place where you come to work on your personal growth, to work on things that matter. And we'll give you a couple of ideas in a moment. And finally, and I've already addressed this already, most of us can use more direction and more clarity. I know I can. Life is very, very complicated. And many of us are extremely, extremely busy and are juggling many, many different plates. And so if there is a way to bring a little more clarity and a little more simplicity and more direction, we think that those are good things to bring to people. And that's what we're trying to do with Summit Journey Coaching. So let me take you into the site for just a couple of minutes here and orient you. So first of all, when you go to summitjourneycoaching.com, and we are live, and this is the live site, you land here, and before you've even told us who you are, you don't have to put your name in, you don't have to do anything, you can come right in and start clicking on things and using our tools and watching our lessons. And so we've been building a library of simple lessons, short, simple lessons that can impact anyone, anywhere. Truly, we hope anywhere in the world. Things like discovering life purpose, a True North model, one of my favorite tools and models, creating a vision statement, goal accomplishment, my coach Roy's 5 simple steps to goal achievement, values, creating personal values. And every week we'll be adding more and more lessons and more videos. Those of you that know about the Khan Academy, K-H-A-N, khanacademy.org, Solomon Khan was a huge inspiration to us. And what he did is he put dozens and then hundreds, and I think now it's up to thousands of math lessons and science lessons on his website for free for anyone in the world. Well, that's what we're going to do. We're going to provide personal growth lessons, coaching lessons, success lessons for anybody anywhere in the world. And again, let me point out, so far, you haven't even had to tell us who you are. We said to ourselves, we think that's crummy. When you go to a site, you want to use something, and you have to tell them a lot about yourself. We said, let's give a bunch of stuff for free before anyone's even had to tell us who they are. So here's the lessons, and there's a lot of book reviews, and I probably have another 20 that I'm ready to post, but here's a bunch of books that I've read, and the reviews are very short and sweet, and you can get a good sense about the book. Here's the 4 agreements. So this just tells you a little bit about the summary of the 4 agreements and why I like the book, and a couple of interesting quotes, other books by the author, and why I think this particular book matters. And by the way, if you want to buy the book, you click on it and it takes you to, who is it, Steve? It's not Amazon, it's Barnes & Noble.
Barnes & Noble.
Takes you to Barnes & Noble. You can buy the book right away. So there's book reviews here, and that's free, and you don't have to tell us who you are. And one of my favorite things about landing at this website, and all of you that are on with us today, I strongly encourage you to do this. Down here at the front page at the bottom is Roy's exercise. And truly, I know this is a big promise, but we mean it, in about 15 minutes or less, if you click on this little exercise, you will finish and you will be very clear about your most important personal values. Many of you already are, but some of us aren't as clear. You'll know and be clear, and you'll have them well defined, and you'll have a very simple statement about your life purpose. Sounds pretty bold. All I could say is try it. I did it with Roy about 8 years ago, and I was a little skeptical, because I am skeptical, and it worked beautifully. So when you click on it, there's a little introductory video, very short, watch that. And then you click on that you've read the terms, and then you go to next, and you start going through the process. And Roy just guides you. You can hear his voice there. You go through each of these screens, and you click, 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 and at the end of it all, I'm going to click out of that. And when you're done, you will have clarity on your life purpose and your most important values. And again, I want to point out, and we think it's pretty neat, that all of this is before you've even told us who you are. So we've had some people say, well, if you get all that stuff, why even bother registering? Notice registering is still free, so we want you to register. When you do register, another level of services and tools become available. So of course I have registered. Here's me. I'm going to log in and I'm going to show you what's available for free. So this is still all free. You still have your lessons. You still have your book reviews. But you also have your own Summit Journey page. So here's a photo of me when I was on 60 Minutes about 10 years ago. I really wasn't, but it looks like something like that. And then you're provided with your own Summit Journey. So there's a section on values, and so you click on values, you can see it light up. And a section on goals and mission and vision and purpose. And we think that these are the core elements of how you lead a successful life. You get very clear about your values. And so if you're not, we help guide you. We provide guidance and tips and videos to help you get better at getting clear about your values. And then you can write in what your values are. And so these are mine. This is Ed's Summit Journey page. So one of my values is to be a good teacher. And I describe what I mean by that. And another value is that I'm a trader in the sense of I trade things like a capitalist trades. I trade concepts. I believe in abundance. I believe trading leads to abundance and leads to peace. Because if I'm going to trade with you, we probably don't want to kill each other. And I care. But notice how I defined caring. I care about the power of ideas, and I care about whether people get the ideas or not. And so these are my values. And I can show you my mission and my vision and my purpose. And most importantly, I think, is the goal section. And again, this is all free. We're still on the free website. And so here's Ed's goals. And one of my goals was to launch Summit Journey Coaching by April of 2012. And voila, here we are, kind of magical. Another goal is to get better at keyboards in 2012. Well, that's a personal goal. I don't know how much better I'm getting, to be honest with all you guys, but I'm trying. Another financial goal is I want to pay down the mortgage on my house as quickly as I can, etc. So here are my goals. More importantly than having the goal written, which is very important, is to have a plan for the goal. So when you click on Work on the Goal, we show you how to build a simple plan. And a plan is really just about having key activities. So what are your planning key activities? What are your implementing key activities? And what are your follow-up key activities for each goal? And we guide you. So again, if you're not sure what that means, there's the guidance, there's the tips, there's some videos that will guide you on that. And again, I know I've said it many times, all of this is free. So let me go back to the agenda for just a minute, and then I'm going to see if Steve has some questions that have come in. And if you're not sure about something, please do feel free to ask some questions. So what are your options? And when I say you, I mean those of you on the site, and of course I'm hoping that some of you on the site will share this with friends and family and coworkers, etc. Well, one option is to just visit the site and click around for free. And then a second option is to be free but register. And if you register, you save your work. So in order to be able to do work in here and save it, we need to have a way to do that, and so you need to register.
So what is the benefit of saving your work?
Well, the benefit of saving your work is that you can come back and keep working on it and reworking on it and add to it and refresh it. And so as you're learning and as you read a book or you attend a class or you're just thinking and something comes up, you would come back to Summit Journey Coaching, we hope daily, and you would both refine your goals, you would keep track of your activities, you'd go into the notebooks, which I haven't shown you yet, but I will, and you'd do writing in your notebook, you'd save good ideas in your notebooks. So if you just click around for free as a visitor, that's fine. Those of you that like your privacy, that's fine. If you register, it's still free, but you get to do a lot of additional work, and you get to save your work and use it over and over and change it.
So you just said if you like your privacy, does that mean this is not private if you save your work? Why did you say that?
The site is private and extremely secure. So a couple of important headlines here, guys. The site is free and always will be. So this is not a trick. It's not a bait and switch. It's not like once you save a bunch of information, we're going to come back later and say, now you need to pay us. The free site is free and always will be free. So that's a headline. A second headline, it is extremely secure. When I go to a financial website, the URL window lights up green, telling me that it's extremely secure. Our website is going to have that security. Right now there are many layers of security, and we've applied for that extra green layer of security, and we're, I think, within several days of being able to add that to the security that's already built in. And it's extremely private. So, for example, my daughter Shannon is on Summit Journey Coaching, and she's using the tools, and she writes in her notebooks, and she has goals that she's setting. I cannot see those. I own the company. I can't see those. I don't want to see them. But if I did want to see it, it's private. I can't see it. No one else can see it unless we decide to share. So I'm going to show you something that's somewhat related. So if you are working in your Summit Journey, and let me come back here to, let's say that I've done all my work and I now have my entire Summit Journey completed, and I do. And so what I could do if I wanted to is I could take my Summit Journey, so here's Ed's Summit Journey with my purpose and my vision and my goals and my values, and it's all consolidated in this one simple graphic. If I wanted to, I could email this. I could send this to my friend Greg if I want. I could post it on Facebook. I could tweet it, or I might not want to. And what's interesting is every one of us is different. Some of us are very, very private, and this kind of work would stay private. Some of us are much more social, and there are people we would want to have this shared with. Well, you can do that, and we make it very easy to share. But if you don't share, it's extremely private and extremely secure. Did that answer what people were asking, Steve?
Yeah.
Is that good? Okay. So let me see where I was in my agenda.
So does anyone have any questions right now as we're going on to the next step of the agenda? If you do, just please type it in, and we'll be sure to answer your question as soon as possible.
So again, what are your options? Well, one option is to just browse the site for free as a visitor. Another option is to use all the tools on the free site by registering, and that's free. A third option is we wanted to make real coaching with a real, live, skilled, unique, wonderful coach. We wanted to make that affordable and accessible for anybody in any walk of life. The current world of coaching is pretty expensive. If you hire your own coach, The current model is either it's a one-on-one that you get with them that's pretty pricey, or you're in a seminar for a day or a weekend, and again, it's pretty pricey. And in many cases, it's only executives or mostly executives for companies that get that kind of coaching. Well, again, we wanted to change that game. We want to be game changers in the coaching world, and we want everyone to be able to have their own coach and all the benefits of having a coach. And so we made coaching affordable at $49 a month, as we like to say, basically a few trips to Starbucks. So almost anybody, not everyone in the world, but almost everybody can afford to have their own coach, and we have 15 coaches who have gone through the interview process, through the vetting background, the whole HR thing. They've agreed, we've agreed, and they're on board, and they're wonderful. We have 15 coaches, and they're looking forward to having 5 of you, 50 of you, on a group webinar once a month, and part of their community every day, and part of their team, a team of like-minded people who all want the same thing. More growth.
Where do people find out about group coaching? On the website?
So on the website, you take you back. If you want to hire a coach, you can go to the Hire a Coach section, click on that, and you would make a decision. You either want group coaching, which we've been talking about, which is $49 a month, and by the way, there's no contract. So you can try group coaching for 3 months or 4 months, and if it's working great for you, and we think it will, great, you continue. And if it's just not working that well for you, you can just stop, or you might even say, well, let me try another coach, and you could try a different coach. So no contract, no handcuffs. One of our principles is freedom. Freedom for you, freedom for our coaches. We want it to work nice and simple for everyone. So you would click on group coaching, and then you would select a coach. And so these are the coaches who are starting right away, and then we have another group that's going to be starting in May, and then another group that will be starting in June. And so right now you could select from Kurt or Greg or Joanne or Monica or Rama. And by the way, I know that some of you were invited today by Catherine, and Catherine will be starting with us in May, so she'll be on here as well. So you can select a coach if you happen to already know them. Within a couple of weeks, we're going to have a Meet the Coaches page. It's not on here now, but it will be here soon, where you can see their photos, read their bios, perhaps even watch a short video that tells you a little bit about them. Or if you're just not sure, guys, call our 800 number, and we'll help you pick a good coach. They're all wonderful, but if you want to call, Steve and Alexis will help you think through. We'll ask you a few questions as to what kind of coach you're looking for, and we'll help you select a good coach.
So where on the website can I find out just some general information about group coaching and one-on-one coaching?
So up here is so the question, and I think everyone can hear Steve's questions, where on the website can you find out more about all of this stuff? Well, there's a few different ways. If you come all the way back to the front page where you first land and you haven't even registered, you can click on this video, and it's going to explain a lot about what I've explained today. It's going to explain this whole summit journey thing.
This is it.
So I'm going to stop that. Another thing you can do is you can click on the Watch Lessons, and you could read about or listen to the video on free coaching. So here's what you get for free. And then over here on the other side is why pay for coaching when you can get it for free. So there's good arguments on both sides, and we're fine with the people that choose free coaching. Wonderful. We're happy to have as many people as want to use our free stuff as come to it. Millions if they want. Great. And of course, we're happy to have people sign up for paid coaching, whether it's group or one-on-one. So you can learn by watching the little lessons here, and you can also learn, those of you that are more readers, you can learn by clicking on coaching services. And so here's some information about this affordable $49 a month group coaching. And why would you pay for coaching? Because coaches improve performance. And the web meetings they do will bring these lessons to life. And they'll bring their own personality and uniqueness and stories. And they're going to help you take that lesson and bring it into your life, integrate it, as we call it, Get it actually out of your head and into your life. Otherwise, why keep a bunch of stuff up in your head? You can just read books if you want to do that. And more, really importantly, is this idea of a community, having a team. Those of you that all sign up to work with Catherine or sign up to work with Rama or Kurt or whomever it might be, will be part of a community and a team, and there to support each other and share ideas and best practices. And very important, and I know this sounds a little salesy, guys, but it's just true, so I'm going to say it. When you pay, even if you only pay a small amount, $49, you are deeply committed. You're kind of upping the ante in your own life. You're investing in yourself. You're taking it seriously. So Steve's question is, where can you learn? You can learn here. And again, there's videos about why hire a coach. And you can learn about your own coach and the group meetings and the Summit Journey integration, etc. So you click on all these different icons, and it will give you a lot of information. So that's that answer. Steve, any other questions?
No questions right now. Do you guys have any more questions for us?
So while we're looking for questions that come in via chat, you just type it in the chat or in the question area, guys. Just type them in. Let me go to the last option, which is one-on-one coaching. So my model, the model I use with my coach Roy, is we have one-on-ones twice a month, usually just via phone. Most of you will probably do web meetings. They might be phone, whatever you prefer. And typically 2 of those a month. And so you will get everything you get with group coaching, a live webinar, a community, your own coach's webpage, chat rooms, all that nice stuff that you would get in group coaching. And you will have the intimacy and the personalization of one-on-one. And for some of you, that $500 a month is very, very high. We know that, and so that's why we wanted the alternative for $49 a month. And for some of you, you don't want to pay $49 a month, and that's why the alternative is free. So there's 3 really great options for you. You can go very deep with one-on-one personalized, if you can afford it. You can stay with your own coach that's very affordable, or just stay on the free site. And we think what will happen, people may move kind of back and forth. So some people that use the free site for 3 months, 6 months might decide to try group coaching. And some people that do group coaching for a year might decide to stop for a while and go back and use the free site. And some that are doing group might decide to hire one-on-one because they really need and want the intimacy in the one-on-one with their own coach. And all of that is fine with us. So there's kind of the agenda. Let me see if there's anything else on the site that I thought would be good to show you. I know what else I wanted to show you. I want to give you just a couple more tastes of some nice tools that are here. So again, this is free. One of the things we built are some notebooks. Because again, where do you go to work on your personal growth? So you can put things in spiral notebooks and in a Word document or on a Post-it note or in a binder when you're at a conference. We think if it's important, if it really matters in your life, you may want to start capturing things in your notebooks. And there's 3 of them. There's one that's a journal that's really designed just for personal reflections. And so that's kind of like an old-fashioned diary. And again, that you might want to keep very, very, very private. Ed, me personally, I probably wouldn't share my journal because I would want to say whatever I want in there and never filter it. That's one thing you might do. Another thing you might do is capture lessons you've learned, whether it's with your group coach, from a class you attended, from a book that you read. Where do you capture things that are good? We say you might want to come in here and capture them in here. And so I have a bunch of things that I've captured in my learnings. And here's my table of contents. And so I can come in here and one of Roy's ex-partners, Bob Roberts, sends out some really wonderful ideas, and I capture them in here. And I go back and I'll occasionally read them in here. And one of our coaches, Dawn, wrote a beautiful articulation of what she thinks Summit Journey Coaching is all about. And I captured that. It was so beautiful. She said it better than I think I've said it. And so I wanted to capture what it was that Dawn said about Summit Journey Coaching. And so that's captured in my learnings because I want to be able to refer back to that. So there's all these different notebooks that you can use. And let me go back to the third one here. And I know, Steve, you have a question. Just let me finish this one thought, and then I'll take your question here. So the third notebook is one that you'll use, especially with a coach, whether it's one of our coaches or your own coach, when you need to practice things. So if you're practicing and working on things, well, you don't want it in here where I think it's more of stuff you've really learned and you want to capture. Over here is where you might practice a script or how you're going to approach a meeting, or you're working on an outline for something. And as you're practicing it, eventually maybe the done piece of it, the completed piece of it, might wind up over here. And maybe you come into the journal, the personal reflections, to emote a little bit. Maybe you're struggling with it and it's driving you crazy, or you're finding it really difficult. Fine. Come in here and talk about it a little bit. Talk to yourself. And maybe you'll wind up talking to a coach about it. Steve, was there a question?
Well, not a question. I just wanted to point out that many people have commented on how important the My Accomplishments section has been for them to use daily, so maybe you can go into that a little bit.
Yeah, I would say, you know, I have a lot of prejudices about this business and this website, but I would say my favorite piece of it is one of the simplest things, and it's this little My Accomplishments Today section. It sits here right on the very front, right in the middle, and what it's really designed to do is what it says right here, to give yourself a little bit of credit every day for some positive thought or step or action that you took. What we as human beings tend to do is we beat ourselves up, and we run so many negative scripts in our head, and I didn't do this, or I should have done that, or I'm a loser, or why didn't I accomplish this, or I didn't get much done today, and all those horrible, stupid things that so many of us do. And we want to try to rewire the brain so that we focus on the things that we are doing, even if they're small things. So here is mine, and before we started this morning, guys, I came in and I said to myself, what have I accomplished so far today? Well, I worked with my assistant Patty on some WebEx issues that we were struggling with, and we did a really good job, and it was hard, and I was glad I did it. In fact, I'm going to erase it for a minute so you can see what's underneath there. Before I put that in, what was underneath was, whoops, what happened there, Steve?
You just clicked back.
I clicked. Clicked. So what was underneath there was, what key activity did I complete? So there's this little reminder asking me, did I do a key activity? Well, a key activity is something that I have to do to accomplish a goal. So in my other business, my financial planning business, I have some key activities, and one of those key activities requires me to get good at these WebEx meetings that I'm doing. And so I did that. Another thing that I did is I completed notes from meetings that I had this week. Very important that I keep up with my notes for compliance reasons, follow through, professionalism, etc. So I did that, and I feel good about it. It wasn't a huge thing. I didn't change the world. I didn't move mountains, but I completed my notes, so I'm giving myself credit. And then this morning driving here was especially difficult on Palos Verdes Drive North today. I don't know why, but I was especially calm, which those of you that know me know that's unlike me in traffic. And so I'm giving myself credit for remaining very, very calm in especially bad traffic. And then notice it asks, what lesson did I learn today? Well, I haven't filled that one in yet. So I'm still waiting for a nice lesson to show up, something that I've learned or relearned. And then it also says, what else did I accomplish today? Well, I'm hoping before the end of the day I can fill something else in. So what Steve simply pointed out is that this is something that a lot of us are enjoying and we do daily. It's just something to come back to every day. Maybe you're not coming in and necessarily working on your vision every day. That might be something you work on once or twice a month. But you might definitely be coming in and working on your accomplishments. Or you might be adding to some of your lists. So we have lists and we have notes. And so here's a few of my lists. Ideas for future lessons that I want to bring to you guys. Health and fitness things. In fact, I bought a new stabilizer ball. So look what I get to do here. I get to click this box and cross that off. Ooh, that feels good. I get to cross off one of my list items. And I need to start a bike log for mileage. I kind of have that on my computer, but I want to do it on Summit Journey.
So it looks like we have some more questions here. You want to just go to the agenda real quick and see where we are?
Sure. We are really at questions, so it's a perfect time for anyone to ask any questions they have.
So if somebody was interested in one-on-one coaching, how does that compare to current one-on-one coaching that's out there? How does the price compare? How does the model compare?
Yeah, I think the pricing for people that do one-on-one coaching, the pricing is pretty fair. I think there's a very wide range out there. Some of our coaches have said they think that's too low. Some think it's outrageously high. I think that it's low. I think for professional, experienced coaching, to have 2 one-on-ones a month, that's probably a little low, but it's fair. And how does our process differ? I think that what we are doing that is exceptionally important and valuable is we are trying very, very hard to simplify and clarify. Whereas, and maybe this is a value judgment I shouldn't make, but I've been through a lot of other sessions over the years, some of those provided by Ameriprise, where it seems to me the coaches try to make things complicated. And there's 37 steps, and there's, you have to come back, repeatedly and repeatedly, and they dole out a little bit at a time. Whereas every one of our lessons is self-contained, and you can get it and digest it and apply it every single time. And so again, I think the headline is, our differentiator is simpler, clearer, and it comes back to our philosophy because these clues have been around forever. So it's not unique to us, guys. There's success clues all over. They used to be passed down generational, and we don't quite have that so much anymore in our families. Or it used to be done through community meetings or Saturday night socials or church groups that would get together, and a lot of these things would be shared. And it's hard to find that now. So we think our system is very simple. It's abundant, so we will always have new lessons, and we also will repeat. So those of you that don't like repetition, you're not going to like us because we're going to repeat and repeat and repeat. And so every webinar and every one-on-one will start with a repetition of the previous lesson, and sometimes repetition of several lessons, because we think that's how you learn. You need to hear things over and over and over. So simplicity, clarity, processes that are clean and simple, a lot of repetition.
And we believe that the content is important, but more importantly is trying to embed those lessons and actually apply them to your lives. So a lot of the lessons might have a repeat of some of the content, but that's intended to help you implement that lesson and actually work towards your goals and work towards accomplishing your goals and other things that you're looking to accomplish. So that's why there's a lot of repetition there.
Well said, Steve. Any other questions that came in? If there aren't, I'm going to kind of be wrapping up here, and if there are more questions, wonderful. And if you need to bow out, please feel free. Let me just
one more question. Okay. Who are the 2 coaches that are available right away, and what are the steps for people to sign up if they want to sign up for April?
So we have 2 very brave and bold coaches that we're willing to start here in April, because our first 2 live webinars are this April. And you go to the website and you click Hire a Coach and click Group Coaching. And the 2 that are available right now are Greg and Joanne. Greg Wright and Joanne Graham. And Joanne and Greg are both, I'm prejudiced again, I have to admit it. All of our coaches are wonderful. Greg and Joanne are unique, experienced, kind, smart, clear, well articulated, both come from a tremendous personal growth background, and I can't say enough good things about the two of them. They're ready to go, they're excited, and they're fine if they have 3 people on their first webinar, if they have 13, or if they have 30. It'll probably start kind of slow, every business does, and we're okay with that. And obviously we're going to try to get better and better and clear up any of our little gaps that exist early on, mostly through the technology. But Greg and Joanne are ready to go. We've done the training for them. So I train the coaches, and then they turn around the next month and provide that same lesson to you guys. That's kind of the model.
So if anyone has any more questions on who they should sign up for a coach and how to do that, please just give us a call at this 1-800 number, 800-368-2390, and we'll definitely be more than happy to set you up with a coach that we think would work for you.
Another thing you can do is send an email, service@summitjourneycoaching.com. So call the 800 number, send an email, or enroll via the site. So Steve just took you through all 3 of those. I'm going to give you one more step, if I may, guys, one more request. At the very, very least, I'm going to ask you to go to the front page. So let me log out here. Go to the very front page, and if you do nothing else, sometime maybe tonight or this weekend, click on Roy's exercise down here and take this little exercise. I think you're going to be very, very surprised at how simple it is, how fun and cool Roy is. How old is Roy now? 84 or 85? He's up there, and he's still in the game big time. Still my coach, still very active in coaching. And so we're going to ask you to do this little exercise even if you do nothing else, and I think you're going to be pretty amazed at it. But I am going to add a C that I didn't put on here, and the C is a personal request. I don't know all of you on the call, but I know most of you, and I'm going to ask if you would please help us spread the word. So here's the truth, the simple truth about a new business. As cool as we think this is, and as valuable as we think it is, and we think millions of people should be taking advantage of it, the truth is it's one at a time, and it's really slow, and it's really hard, very, very hard to get a business off the ground. So please don't assume that we just have millions of people or hundreds or thousands of people knocking on our door. We don't, and we won't unless the word gets spread. And so I'm asking you guys each, please help us spread the word a little bit. Tell people to go to summitjourneycoaching.com. And if you happen to know anyone, it might be an adult child of one of yours. It might be a retiree. It might be a stay-at-home parent, certainly an employee. Anyone you know who you think might be good for group coaching, please let us know, or one-on-one. Let us know. And in some cases, some of you might want to pay. You might want to pay for a relative or a friend or a child, adult child or teenage child. So I'm asking for some help, guys. Spread the word if you would. If you like what you saw, please tell other people. And any help you could provide would be greatly appreciated. And Steve, one last check. Any other questions that came in?
I don't know. If you guys have any more questions, please send them. Otherwise, we'll be wrapping up here.
So we'll just give a second, see if anything shows up. And if not, I'm going to thank you all one more time. We really appreciate your time. We appreciate you investing some of your life into looking at what we're doing. We're obviously very excited. I hope I didn't come across as a maniac. I'm so thrilled to have this business live and launched, and we think we can make a difference, and that we can make a difference for both individuals and for eventually many, many thousands, hopefully millions of people, because we all want better lives, and we all want more successful lives. We want to be the best that we can, but sometimes we don't know quite how to do it, and we're hoping that Summit Journey Coaching can be a wonderful assist in that process. So thank you all. Follow up if you have questions. Enroll if you want to get going. And we'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.